same as 3 to the 3rd power. Cubed, you see what I mean? This is feet to the 3rd power because it's feet times feet times feet, which is cubic feet. Feet cubed, cubic feet. They may say feet cubed. Sometimes they say foot squared. You might see this. 3 foot squared. That's the same thing as 3 square feet. It means the feet have been squared. Not the 3, but the feet have been squared. And so you have square feet. Okay? This is different than saying 3 squared feet. Now the 3 is squared. This just says feet squared is just feet times feet. That means you've multiplied so many feet times so many feet. That's how you get feet squared. So if you see that, don't get confused and think that it's 9. This is just telling you that it's a square foot. Okay? So, perimeter is what? Without looking at the board. The distance around. The distance around. When they talk about soldiers guarding the perimeter of the camp, they don't walk every inch of that camp. They walk around the outside of the camp. So that's a way for you to remember too. It's just the outside edges. That's the perimeter. Because we're going to be doing some word problems tomorrow that's not going to ask you to, what is the perimeter of this? They'll say the man is building a fence or the lady is putting up trim. You have to know, okay, I need perimeter. Because once you know you need perimeter, then what you know is that all you want to do is add it all up. Add it all up. All the outside edges together, that's going to give you the perimeter. Area is what? Inside space. That inside space, we want all that space in between, not just the edges. All in between. And how do you find the area of something? Of a square or a rectangle?
Multiply.
Multiply what? Side times side. That's what you need to keep in your mind. Area is side times side. The only one different is triangle because it's not whole. It's still side times side, but then what do? Take half of it. So a square is side times side, rectangle side times side, triangle is side times side, take half of it. And that's the area. Okay? Volume does what? Fills up the space. So it's just the area times the height. Anytime they give you 3 dimensions on something, they probably want the volume. Because the volume is the only thing you need 3 on. So if you're not sure what to do, they give you 3 numbers, multiply them all. It's probably what they want you to do. And the answer is going to be what? The measurement is going to be in what? Cubic. Cubic feet, cubic inches, cubic mile. Okay. Circles are different. They don't have edges. When you are trying to find the distance around a circle, you multiply pi times what? Pi times what?
Diameter.
Diameter for the distance around. D and D. Diameter for distance around. Okay. Radius for the area. You remember there are 2 formulas for circles is all you have to remember. It's either going to be pi times the diameter or pi times the radius squared. That's what you need to memorize. It's going to be one or the other. Pi times the diameter or pi times the radius squared. So you say, which one do I use when? You use diameter for distance around. And the one with the squared on it makes sense to use it for area anyway because we know area comes out in squared something. So you use that radius squared when you want to find the area. And then the volume of that circle, just add the height to it. Pi times the radius squared is the area, and then all the way down times the height. Okay? So we'll work on some problems where you have to find those because that part of it was easy for me as well too because they give you a formula, you can plug in the numbers and figure it out. But here's the problem. Sometimes they give you the area and they give you the length. and they ask you what is the width. They're not always looking for the area. They can give you the area, give you the length, and they say, what is the width? Well, what would it have to be? Have to be 6, right? Right? If the area is 24 and the length is 4, the width would have to be 6. Because it would have to be, it says 24 is equal to 4 times some number. That's why we did the algebra first. So that you can read this and know that 4 times some number has to give you 24. And what is that number? 6. So the width would have to be 6. So they're not going to always give you the length and the width and ask you for the area. You may have to figure one of those out. So that's what we're going to work on, some of those problems tomorrow. And I see that Mr. Bill is here. And didn't you say that you wanted to stay?
Yes.
Okay. And anyone else? You can't stay tonight? So maybe you might get tonight. You guys have a good evening. Make sure you sign in and out on the sign-in sheet. If you are staying further, Chris or Jeff, you can just sign up for the time that you're going to leave from the school.
Okay.
What's that? Every other Wednesday, yes. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you guys come tomorrow. You have your book, just practice, go on and look at some of that area, perimeter and volume. We're going to be working with that tomorrow. Carla, glad to have you back. Didn't want to have to come by and get you, so I'll give me a little time. But I do have your address. Yeah, because then at first it was all right, but then Chris stopped coming. You know, wait a minute now.
Yeah,
You got to be here. I saw Jamie the other day and I told him that you had said that you had an appointment. Would you already have that appointment now?
It was today.
You didn't go?
No.
Why?
Because he said it was just something about just tossing and stuff. Like,
Yeah, but that's how you get involved in it. You got to go through all those hoops to get into their system.
So like,
That's the first step.
Okay.
Hmm?
So like, what are they gonna do? Like,
They're going to talk to you and tell you about the services that they provide and tell you how you're eligible for those services and what you have to do to get those services. The first step is going through their orientation. And there's a whole lot of other things that they'll have you do, come and do this, do that, but in the end, they're going to pay. You need to get there. Yeah, they'll pay for training and everything. Okay, where the table go? Yeah, they'll pay for training, and that's what we're trying to do.
What it is.
Get you some
You know
paid
more than
training
me,
so that when you,
You're more of us.
when you get done with this, you can get on into some training and get into a job. Robin? Taylor.
Yeah, that one.
In the last one, and then the last one. Okay. Oh, we were still rolling, huh?